2018 Chevy Silverado. This one got to do a fuel pump. So we got to take this gas tank out. Now, this drive shaft's going to come out first so I can get up on top of it easier and it comes out easier. But this truck has a flatbed on it. And so with a flatbed, it's going to be very easy for me to show you how to get this stuff apart. Because this hose is usually all underneath the bedside that comes down here. First thing we got to do is get this cover off, which is these bolts right here. These few, take this plastic cover off the bottom. All right, now let's get rid of this drive shaft. Okay, so now after you get that drive shaft out, next thing you're going to do is you're going to go right up in here. You're going to stand on a bucket if you're me, and you're going to get to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these clips out right here. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to bang on the top of this with something, and then we're going to air blow all of this dirt off of here because this is not going to work. Trying to get those clips out when they're all muddy like that, impossible. And you want to try not to break them. Okay, so once you get everything blown off enough to even get to the connectors, then you got this connector with has a little safety thing in it, and then this is just a vent tube, easy to get off, and then this big fat one I think I'm going to leave on here and take it off of the canister over here. Then you also have this one that you got to take off. And so what I do is I twist these around, move them around, bang on them with a screwdriver, do the whole thing, and then blow them out again to make sure you can get to them. Like this one, it's going to be easy because you can just get to the clip with a screwdriver. This one has a safety clip on it, but even same thing. You just push it with a screwdriver and off it comes. So I can't have the camera up in here because I don't have anywhere to put it, but I'm gonna, like with this clip right here, it comes out this way. All right, so on a normal truck where the bedside comes down here, then this would all be covered up. But this joint right here is where it would usually hook to the neck. This one's extended because of the flatbed. But this here, you would take this off and you would disconnect it from there and pull it through here when the tank comes down. All right, after you get that apart, you get your little vent tubes unhooked with a zip tie. Then you're gonna come through with this transmission jack. Okay, so now that you have it supported, you're gonna come right here, 15 millimeter, and then back here, second strap, 15 millimeter. Unhooked, then they just come out of this little slot right there. Now we start to let it down. Once you have this tank out, you can see I disconnected everything, those two plugs, and then this vent tube. And then the rest of these I left on here, and I just unhook them from the canister, which is right here. So one there and one there. Now I'm gonna have to take the fuel pump out because this is what we're switching. This is the fuel pump, the whole assembly. So this has to come off, and this has to come off, and this has to come off. I'm gonna clean all this off real good, more now, and then get these clips and stuff off here. Then we'll get the pump out. Work those in and out, in and out, in and out while you're blowing it, and we get all that dirt and crap out of there. So you squeeze in on both sides. Squeeze in on both sides of this one. And this one, I'm gonna press it down. So just press it in. So this one too, probably. Yep, that's how they come off if you blow the dirt out. Okay, after you get those lines off, the next thing you're gonna do is I'm gonna blow all this off again just to make sure that it's all out of there. Like all of this little stuff under here's gotta go so it doesn't fall in the tank when you take this out. So I'm gonna blow all this off real good, and then this ring right here, you can see how it turns and it clips into these little things. Right here, right here. You can see where they got it lined up there. Get that rock out of there. And then this, you put a chisel here and turn this way. Chisel here, turn it that way. And this whole ring will turn and come off. All right, so right here I'm gonna beat on this thing, but I'm not gonna do it from only one direction. I'm gonna do it from one direction, then I'm gonna go around to the other side and do it a little bit there. And then you'll notice when I come around to the third side, that's when it finally pops off. So don't just try to go from one place only to twist that thing. Okay. All right, that's the ring. So now this popped up. We're gonna push it back down. Okay, we're gonna push that back down where it's tight, and we're gonna blow this off again. Okay. Now we pop that up out of there, and this whole thing's gonna pull out of here. Try to get most of this back in the tank. All right, fuel pump. Here's the float for the sending unit. So when you get the new one out of the box, you're gonna see that the float and the O-ring. So the float, if you look at the old one, you can tell, but this thing, if you see this goes in the hole, and then it just presses in. Just like that. And now this float is good. Don't forget the bag. Take this piece off. And you take your caps off, put it back in. All right, so here we go with the new O-ring. Put the new O-ring in there. Okay, then you're gonna take the new pump and work it right down in here. Let it fill up with gas. And right there, it's in. Then you're gonna take this. Okay, so you can start it just a little bit, and then you're going to take your chisel and you're going to pop it back on a couple different spots. Alright, we're going to work this thing back on. And there it is. So you can't just do it from one side this way. You have to do it from this side and then the other side and then this side and the other side to finally get it to turn. Otherwise it just gets cocked in there and you can't get it to turn. You do have to hit it hard. Like, you really have to get it hard. Hit it hard to get it in there. You can see here that this is a little bump, and then this is the little indentation where the bump goes into. So if you don't have that all the way clicked over into that bump, then it's not all the way on. It's easy to stop when it's right here because it's hard to get it through there. But if it's not in that little clip, then you got to go harder. Here we go. So now we're just going to go back up. Also, we're going to plug back in our lines here. Bam. One more. Bam. Make sure you put in this one. Make sure you clipped in. All right. Now we go up, and you have to make sure that you grab this and pull it up when you go up. You go up, feed it back through. Once the stripes are on, then it's just a couple electric plug-ins on the top and the shield that goes on the bottom and the hose. All right, so we're going to tie our vent back up. Put your hose back on here, put your clamp back on. And then I'm going to dump all the dirt out of this, just a dirt tray. And then put the shield back on the bottom here. And then that is going to be it. Oh, got to put the drive shaft back in. But then that's going to be it for a fuel pump, 2018 Chevy Silverado. And we'll see if it starts here in a second. All right, it's on the ground, and now we're going to start it. Let's see if it runs. So here we go. Key on for a second, let it pump up. Hey, what do you know? Fired right up. All right, so now we check for leaks. All right, everything looks good, and that is the end of that job. 2018 Chevrolet fuel pump. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.